Welcome back to 1% Daily. Today, we're diving into an idea that can quietly shape or quietly sabotage your future. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Let's unpack why this truth is so powerful and what it means for your growth. This idea isn't just a catchy quote, it's a reality you're living every day, whether you notice it or not. The people around you are constantly influencing the way you think, speak, act, and even dream. Think about it. If your 5 closest people spend their weekends watching Netflix and complaining about work, you'll probably find yourself doing the same. But if your 5 are constantly learning, building, pushing themselves, and encouraging each other, you start doing that too, almost without thinking. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I knew someone named Arjun. Smart guy, had big dreams of starting his own business. But he spent most of his time with friends who laughed at ambitious people, saw failure as embarrassing, and thought stability was the only goal worth chasing. Whenever Arjun mentioned his ideas, they'd poke holes in them or change the subject. The result? Over time, Arjun stopped talking about his dreams. Then he stopped working on them altogether. His environment didn't forbid him from growing, it just made growth feel out of place. Now, here's the contrast. Arjun eventually moved to a different city and fell in with a group of entrepreneurs. They weren't perfect, but they were hungry. They stayed up late brainstorming ideas. They celebrated each other's small wins. They swapped books, shared strategies, and pushed each other out of their comfort zones. 6 months later, Arjun wasn't just talking about starting his business, he had launched it. Same person, different circle, completely different trajectory. That's the power of proximity. We tend to believe we make decisions entirely on our own, but we're social creatures. We mirror the behaviors and beliefs of those we spend the most time with. Psychologists call it social contagion. Attitudes, habits, and even emotions spread through groups like a virus. If your friends eat healthy, you're more likely to. If they're constantly learning new skills, you'll be inspired to learn. If they take risks, you'll see risk as normal. But the reverse is also true. If your circle normalizes gossip, procrastination, or negativity, you start absorbing that too, even if you don't want to. So here's a 3-step approach to use this truth to your advantage. Identify your current 5. Write down the 5 people you spend the most quality time with. Not just who you see at work or in passing, but the ones you have real conversations with. Audit their impact. Ask yourself, do these people make me want to grow? Do they challenge me? Do they make me believe more is possible? Or do they keep me comfortable, stuck, or small? Elevate your average. You don't need to cut everyone out, but you can intentionally add higher energy, more driven people into your orbit through networking events, online communities, masterminds, mentors, even the books and podcasts you consume. Remember, influence doesn't have to be face-to-face to be real. Here's the thing most people miss. This principle isn't about abandoning your old friends or family. It's about balancing your influences so your average pulls you upward. You can love people without letting their mindset limit your future. And yes, upgrading your circle can feel uncomfortable. You might feel out of place at first, like you don't belong. But if you stick with it, you'll start adapting. And that's the point. When your new normal is thinking bigger, acting bolder, and aiming higher, you rise to meet it. One of the best ways to check if you're in the right environment is this. Ask yourself, if I stayed exactly as I am, surrounded by these exact people, where would I be 5 years from now? If the answer excites you, you're in a good place. If it scares you, it's time to start shifting your 5. Because here's the truth. Your circle is either quietly lifting you toward your potential or quietly holding you back. And if you want to change your life, sometimes the most powerful change you can make is changing who you spend it with. Thanks for joining me today on 1% Daily. Remember, your circle shapes your ceiling. Choose wisely, and your future will thank you. See you tomorrow.